go.
At some point.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Technical difficulties. I don't even know what the heck is going on with all this stuff. But we got it.
Glad Bill put them sleeves back down. Yeah, look at this. They're so white. That tattoo is 1998. So bad.
Tan, bro.
That tattoo is 1998. So bad.
Bro, I got this tattoo when you were 10 years old. Probably.
You're old, Bill. What do you want me to say about that?
Gray Bill,
let me find Gray Bill's partner here, Bill. This is Mr. JD. JD and Gray Bill getting it done.
I thought, okay, all right. Gray Bill, I just want to say thank you very much for the jerseys and stuff like that, dude. You are going to help me get my shoulders nice and tan, my upper arms and everything like that.
I can only hope.
I'm going to wear it for a freaking week straight out there. Just so I can look like you guys, man.
I'm staying.
But thank you very much. Dude. All right, next one here. Gibby. That's what I'm freaking to. What is this, quads? What are you playing over here?
Well, I think they just took the picture together. Gibby getting it done with, looks like the Preds, maybe.
Oh, first and second. All Preds and Elixirs, it looks like. Very nice.
Good to hear, Rich Jones. Keeping those prayers alive, brother.
Yes, sir. Gibby, if I get a day off, and it's, I believe Wednesday is the day that you play, I'm driving up, dude. I got to get up there and play. You guys look like you have fun. You got a great venue.
Molly's got a lot of fans in the chat. I'm about tired of it.
What's going on with Molly?
They're just got so many fans.
That's a way.
Because they beat us.
Yeah, Ian, I think it was you, dude. I think it was you. It's okay, though. Chase fucking calling for Molly. What up, Chase?
I gave her enough credit, folks. I promise.
Dude, Gray Bill again.
Yeah, Gray Bill and
different set of bags.
John Neal, the owner of Green River there. Green River Brewery, I believe. So pretty freaking cool.
Oh, really?
The owner came out there and played. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. Gray Bill most likely carried to the win, correct?
I don't know. You gotta ask Gray Bill. He's in the chat. He said, how was the sauce?
Sauce is delicious. We put it on chicken. I still have half of it left, though, because I want to try it on... I don't know, dude. I don't know. I kind of want to try it on some ribs after we tasted it. It is a little bit sweet. I don't know. What do you think that the sauce should be put on? I saw the marinade. I think you said tri-tip for the marinade, but what about the sauce?
He said chicken for the sauce. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, it was good. It was good, then.
Mike, I'm sucking it up, brother. I promise.
What are you doing?
What up, Miles? Good to see you in the chat, brother. Let's go, Bill. Jordan Kurt getting it done here. I'm talking about Jordan.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can tell. I don't either. Yeah. Small child, maybe.
I don't know. Well, I mean, if they're taking second place, he's pretty dang good. He's got money in his hands, holding it like a champ.
Or Jordan wears the backpack. One or the other.
Congrats. Let's go. Next. Darren
Obenchain getting it done with some Carbinos.
Wait, and we know this guy.
I feel like
I know this guy. Hold up.
You can't say you know this guy and then look him up to.
No, because as soon as we say it, or as soon as I say it, it's.
He can't pull him out of here, folks. Sometimes I can pull him straight out of here. Oh, he's saying ribs. That's Mershawn's kid. Oh,
Jason Mays.
Sweet.
Jason Mays.
Yeah, I don't know Jason Mays. I was gonna say I don't recognize this cat, but I appreciate him throwing some carbons, getting it done out there with Mr. Darren Obenchain.
We'll do the ribs, brother. We will be doing the ribs. And then he takes it third place, Mason. Look at that. Photo bombed in the background. Yeah.
Did he lose half of his beard in one day?
Look, it's right here. Bink, bink. Partner wasn't
Folks, tell me, am I tripping?
Oh, my gosh.
There's no way he grew up in... This is separate weeks, dude. Oh, this isn't the same guy.
No, it is. It is.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that.
Your brain is on a level right now that's calculating, and nobody can even see it, dude. How did you notice that so?
It's fasting.
All I saw was like the same shirt, the same bags. You know what I mean? Holding the same.
But he got it trimmed, Mike. He said, "Well, like in the middle of the tournament." I mean, I respect it. But geez, dude,
that's crazy.
That's got to be 2 different weeks. I'm not subscribing to that being the same day. I'm not doing it. Think Bryce Jefferson getting it done with Mr. Doug Langston. Says Ronins. I think those are indies, though.
Yeah,
those are indies.
Yeah, they're Doug's indies. Yep.
Yeah, Doug loves those things. He has put some work on those things.
Dude, he asked me. He's like, Bill, what set of bags should I get for my throw? I was like, brother, the envies, and he kills it with those.
Yeah, he loves them.
I played with him second week he had those. We tore it up, took first place.
He's solid. Love to see it. There's me and Bill, third place. We at least took a podium, folks.
Again, hold up. Don't be blinded. Don't be blinded, folks.
Oh man, we did take a third place.
Yeah, we did.
It was respectable. Tough conditions out there. We played really well at the beginning. We beat Nick Gardner, Dr. Roll. We smoked them. We played Martina and Bryce. They didn't miss for the King seat. They didn't miss. They were playing good.
It was
It
was kind of crazy.
Bink.
Jerry Harvey trying to do a pork loin. I smoke food so much, dude. I smoke food too.
Who are
I
these
love it,
folks?
Love it.
I don't know who this is, Bill. Got some old school Phoenixes out here. This is Jamie Grissom. Bingo, pulled it out.
Oh my
Come
god!
on, we are firing on
How
another
do you
level,
do
folks.
these
Jamie Grissom and partner here with some old school Phoenixes. Love to see it.
Okay, are you ready?
What do we got? We got some trivia.
We got some trivia. Let's go. Okay,
right,
hold on.
How many stacked cornhole bags would it take to reach the moon from Earth? What is this, Derek?
I don't
How
know.
many
Derek's
stacked-
doing this.
I
folks.
mean, it's
You tell me.
so
Number
many.
one, answer the question. Number two, tell me in chat if you ever want to see one of these things again.
The polls, you mean? The trivias?
The trivia's, yes.
How's this going? Are you going to be able to get this going here?
Okay, what's the question?
How many cornhole bags stacked would it take to reach the moon from the Earth? Bill's trying to make a poll, folks. You guys are probably hearing him type like a little mouse.
Are you kidding me, bro?
274 trillion is what Braden says.
Are you kidding me? How can I make the poll now?
I don't know. You got to figure this
We're
out.
not doing a poll. Put random numbers in there. Next week we will have a
Braden,
poll.
that's
This is
actually a
Dylan's fault.
pretty good guess. That's not bad.
It's not bad. I mean, it's far off, but it ain't bad. It ain't bad. What do we got? Michael Patterson has 1.5 million.
114 million from Nate. 568 billion, 285. See, whatever somebody starts with, they go with it. Braden had the first one at 274 trillion. It's going to be right. All right, I'll tell you that number. Oh, Ed's cheating.
Ed,
It's too close.
that's garbage, Ed. That is absolute trash. Why? I mean, Ed, why do you do this crap? You're not allowed to answer next
Good
week.
question. Zach Dawson says it depends. Are the bags broken in or brand new?
They're somewhere between, and we randomized it between 1.15 to 1.35 inches in thickness.
Oh, Dale Borntrager. I swear, you guys are looking this stuff up. Is Chat GPT this good?
Dude, they're quick.
Is it this good?
Matt Davis. Oh, no, he ain't even
No,
close.
it's not even close.
All right, here we go. Here comes the answer. I guess we are going to do this more, dude. Look at the chat.
Yeah, I like
they
it.
love it.
I like
But
it.
we need a dang poll up there, too. Here we go. 13,159,876,741 exactly. Exactly. If you had 740, you would not reach the moon. 742, you got to dig a little bit for it to be able to reach.
So Dale Borntrager is the closest.
Dude, Dale. That's
He got
what I'm freaking talking about.
13.5 billion.
That is what I am talking about. That poll. See, dude, I had the poll ready to go. Clean, dude. That's what I'm talking about. You freaking killed it.
Chat GPT is giving me 10 billion, but then it gives the thickness, and the difference is based on the thickness of the bag. So 1.25 inches thick, 12.1 billion.
Yeah, so
Derek
it's
got his
between
number.
1.15, right? That's the minimum size of a bag. That's the minimum thickness.
Yeah, I think so.
To 1.35 or something.
Something like that. Yeah, we'll have to look it up. But yeah, that's funny.
Your ear's bleeding a little bit, buddy.
That's okay.
I was just letting you know. Just, yeah. Okay.
No point chart, Bill.
Where are we going?
I did want to speak about one other thing, folks. Took third in the cornhole tournament. I then ran a 5K there the same night. Took second place overall. So I was out there hustling, and I'm just getting back into running. I don't think it was very fast, but I was running hard. 640 mile pace, 3 miles, almost
That's
3
very
miles.
good. 640 mile pace is insane. When I was in the Army, I think there was like one PT test that I did that, and I think it was I really think it was a short track. You know, where they measure it out, they give you a couple hundred yards for free there.
Philip Swanson in the chat. Philip, don't tell anybody about this, but I had a great conversation with your buddy Josh yesterday. I'm a big fan of the guy. He called me, good dude, man. So we'll see what happens with that, but I just want to let you know that that's a good dude. All right, Bill, let's move on here. What are these people talking about? Crazy numbers now.
Matthew Davis, I think you're wrong, dude. It depends. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'll look it up, and you know what? Take that up with Derek, okay? Okay? Here we go. We going to events?
I don't think we have any events.
Okay, going to Family Feud. Ready?
Bingo.
Here we go. Now,
Bill didn't like
if
that
Dylan
picture
gets
of himself.
out of line,
What is this? Bill, what do you got going on here, man? You are.
if Dylan gets out of line, I'm gonna whack him over the head with the screwdriver.
What is? Can we set the ground rules for what out of line is before we start determining whacks of the head?
Don't be a freaking complainer. Be a stoic. Show some stoicism.
Mm-hmm.
Be a stoic.
How honest can I be on a scale of 1 to 10?
You can only talk about
How many people can I name drop?
none.
Folks,
None.
this is what I deal with. All right. Folks, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, okay? Let's get it going here. Question was asked the other day. Players are getting dropped by their partners and finding out through social media. Say what? Should you ever post your new partner on social media before informing the prior? We ain't talking marriages, folks. Is there we'll just start here, okay? We'll start with the partnership debate, right?
It's not a debate.
There was a couple, at least I know of a couple ACL partner teams where the players literally posted that they're going with a new partner without informing their prior partner. Insane disrespect. Am I wrong to say that?
No. No, I think 99% of the entire population will agree with you that if you don't at least inform that prior partner, unless you're in a situation that you and that partner signed a contract and you said, on this date, our partnership is over. I don't think any player has ever done that in the history of Cornhole. But, no, you freaking say, hey, I'm going to look for a new partner, or, Mr. Kano asked me to be his partner, so I'm going to go.
You just name dropped. You told me 0 names and then you name dropped. Crazy talk.
I was making that up.
Crazy
I was
talk.
making a name up.
That's the one you chose?
Mr. Kano. Oh, yeah.
That's the one you chose.
That's a very common name.
I can't wait till I get to speak. I can't wait.
It's
but the problem is that I don't understand too. We live in this era. People somehow back that person up. Like, oh, it's okay. You're doing what's best for you. And it's like, sure, I believe that.
It's
You
fine to
did
do
a
what's
bad
best.
thing.
No. It's fine to believe that. It's fine to say that you're doing what's best for you. Meaning, like maybe you vibe better with a different partner, or you're a little bit better off with this other partner.
Yeah.
And you think that you can go farther than you did with your last partner. That's fine to say that you're doing what's best for you. That still does not relieve you of at least talking to that partner that you're about to freaking drop and say, hey, I'm going to go a different direction. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. It's more of a, not a, I don't want to say a respect thing, but it's a...
Courtesy?
Yeah, I mean, courtesy is too light. Respect, maybe like...
I feel like respect is the correct word.
You think respect...
Because I think if you don't do it, the word to describe what you've done is disrespectful. Like,
right.
That's the definitional best word to use. Like, how would you describe what you did?
Yeah.
That was disrespectful.
Okay.
Because the respectful thing to do would be to contact the person, which is I understand that it could be a hard conversation. Hey, I have to go in a different direction. But doing it this way magnifies that hard conversation by 10. Because now you probably just don't talk to the person anymore, right?
Yeah.
And there's just dislike in between there.
Ed says, are you 100% sure they didn't talk, or is this a way to generate drama and clicks? It's a little bit of both. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it could be that. I guess. Eric Porter says, "How about it is the right thing to do?" Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
100%.
exactly.
Which is saying what happened was the wrong thing to do,
Well,
right?
okay, and we'll give Ed the benefit of the doubt here because am I 100%? No, I didn't talk to him. Are you 100%?
No.
No, you didn't talk to him. But that is the talk of the town. So we're just speculating on the talk of the town. So we will say that if in fact this didn't happen, and we'll just speculate that if it didn't, or we'll take this case and say, well, what everybody thinks, that's terrible, man. I think you should at least say something. Say something. Or maybe there were signs throughout the year. Who knows?
What do you think could cause something like this to happen, Bill? What, is it a lapse in judgment? Is that a good enough excuse? Is it? I just don't like. I don't even understand how you can do this. Like, I'm trying to wrap my mind around. If I had a partner that I played with for a whole season and had a pretty good season too,
Yeah,
that I can't just come to him and be like, "Hey, I'm going to go a different direction next year." It's pretty easy, right?
To tell him that?
Yeah.
I would think so.
What could possess a person to be like, nah, never mind. I'm just going to post the new guy. Like,
So
whoa.
and that conversation could be started out so easy.
Whoa.
It could be started out so easy. You could, at the end of it, you'd be like, "Hey, man, we had a great freaking year. I really appreciate throwing bags with you. That was a lot of fun this year. Hey, next year, I'm taking offers or looking at a couple other people this and,
Yeah,
and
let
be
them down
done with
easy.
it like that. You know what I mean? But you at least give them the respect of like, hey, we had a good year and I loved throwing with you this year. I just I want to look around. This guy lives closer, or we can hit more places up if I go with this guy. You know what I mean? Something like that is always a little bit better than just posting on social media that you went a different direction anyway. That's what I would say.
Yeah, Jacob's saying the player explained it. He's moving to Logan's area, and he's never had a place to practice, and he will. Still should have talked about it, though. Saying if he phrased it, still should have talked about it, though, and that's all you said, not enough. not enough of, like, accountability there. Like, you need to, like, I'm sorry, but when you need to be like, hey, I apologize. I screwed up. You know what I screwed up. What I did to X was wrong. You know what I mean? This is why. Like, sure, give your excuse, but
And that's an excuse that I use.
Excuses are real, right?
That's not an excuse that relieves you again of being that person.
Of having
that
the contact.
That's an
Yeah.
excuse for me not to throw with you.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
That's something to say while I'm having that contact. We're not, the accountability for that contact still is not justified by moving somewhere else
Right.
and throwing with somebody else to practice every day. It's relieved by I was in the emergency room and I just couldn't let you know. I couldn't tell you, and then they posted it instead of me. That's the only way. You just have it's a quick talk. You just say,
I don't think this is something we need to hit on for too
No,
long.
no,
just because, and this is going to segue almost perfectly with Mike's comments. Mike says, it's the generation we are dealing with. They have no respect. They have no loyalty to anything.
Better stop.
And this segues us a little bit into the other words. Did I make a different post, Bill?
No, it's just you talk to yourself while you've been fasting.
No. It's right here. Let me find it, folks. Let me find it for us. So we, right here. Bink. All right. So my theory on why 70% plus of pro play, and this is a rough number, folks. So if I'm wrong on this,
This is a number that he just woke up and he's like, "Hey, I think about 70%
are
of people
switching bag companies in today's day and age." So I went through like the top 25, and I think it was roughly like 60-something% afterwards. But I want to agree with Mike here, and I told Molly this earlier. It is the TikTok era where people are looking for the next best thing. They're ready for change.
He's been talking about this all day. I don't agree 100% with this. Like, sure, there is a saying out there that says the grass is always green, right? Sure, that is a saying out there, and so which lends it a little bit of credence that people think the grass is always greener until they get to some place and this and that. It's not all about that. It cannot be all about that.
I don't think it's all about that, but I think it's a factor. I think that right now humanity gets bored when they have something that stays the same. I think that right now we live in an age, and I call it the TikTok brain, where you scroll to the next thing, right? So quickly, you're on to the next thing, on to the next thing.
Well,
It's
you
the
do.
real
You're
environment.
the
I don't have
TikTok
TikTok.
generation.
I don't have it.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, sure. I think I'm a little older than TikTok generation, but it's close, right?
Closer,
But
yeah, I would
where
say
closer than you,
Yeah.
yes. And I think it's like this thing where people they and I feel like I dealt with this in the army, right? Where we move every like 2 or 3 years. And when I was in Clarksville for like around the 2-3 year mark, I like wanted to leave. Like I felt like I'm like because what I know is leaving every 2 or 3 years, you know. So it's like now I feel stuck in this place, and I'm a little uncomfortable with being stuck right now because I don't know how to deal with this. So I think that's like what I'm trying to portray here is like if you're in with the same company and I don't think this just goes for cornhole, I think this goes for a lot of things. I think it's why people take up hobbies for maybe just a couple of years and then move on to another one.
Some of what you're saying makes a little bit of sense when you're talking about hobbies and things like that. So like,
right.
I know there was a time that, you know, maybe my contract was going to end for the job that I do, which I love my job. I love doing what I'm going to do. You know, like it's nice to get there every day. I know exactly what I'm doing. It's almost on autopilot for me. I've been doing it so long, and it's great. Like it's really nice because I know a lot about the subject that I do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, at some point, my contract could be expired, or it could be canceled, or you know what I mean? Doge can take it out, it is what it is at that point. Me, I see that as a, I don't know, kind of a, I don't want to say fun, but it's an opportunity to get out there and go find something else to do. So there is an element of like, hey, I'm young and I'm allowed to, you know, I can make decisions that affect this, and it's not going to matter to me in the future. You know what I mean? And that's where, you know, what you may be saying a little bit is true, but it's not the need for something new.
I think it's a factor.
I think, well, yeah, because
it's a theory that I have, right?
Like exploring. It's like your first time getting a little bit of freedom, and you know what I mean? If you're with the same company all the time or something like that, maybe it doesn't feel like freedom. I don't know.
Yeah, and right now, cornhole is such in its infancy, right? And especially ACO bad companies, where we're seeing it, people are experimenting things, and I think that if we see cornhole 100 years from now, compare it to something like baseball, nobody knows the baseball players from the 1920s, right? And I'm not trying to tell people you won't be remembered, right? I'm not trying to say that. But what I'm saying is eventually people do forget, you know? And my analogy that I had kind of today for something like this is staying with the same company, this loyalty and respect stuff that we were talking about earlier with Mike, is does it hold weight? And will it hold weight in the future, right? I think right now it doesn't matter because there's so many companies and people are trying new things and the sport is new, right? But if we look at other sports, if we look at the big sports, football, basketball, baseball, right? There are certain players that have an elevated amount of respect from fans and other players because they stuck with an organization. And purely for that, you look at people like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Derek Jeter, Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady explains how he took cuts, literally, on his own paycheck so that the team could develop better around him, right? And so instead of moving, because he had the skill set to move and go chase championships, like let's say a LeBron, right? A LeBron is a guy who has maybe a better skill set than a Michael Jordan, but chase championships and therefore has less respect from the NBA fan base. Is that an analogy? I think it's an extreme analogy, right? And it's hard to compare these sports, but it is something to say about commitment and respect, staying loyal to a team.
I will agree with you that commitment, loyalty, would create a sense of a better person from people that are fans.
Right, and I'm not saying that you aren't respected if you like.
I
think it doesn't
better.
Matter.
Right? You know, like there's
I
still
don't
going
want
to
people
be.
to think like if you left a bad company, it does not mean you're a bad person. That's not the message we're trying to convey. What I'm saying is, in the future, could it look a certain way better for players if they stick with something? Stick with a company, stick with a sponsor, and maybe there becomes teams in cornhole, and it is more.
But yeah, I still wouldn't compare that too much to cornhole. What you're saying, like yes, that's I guess a great thing with numerous fans and things like that. I really think the difference with cornhole is what you hit on at the beginning anyway, where you're talking about there are so many bad companies, and there are few players for the amount of bad companies. companies.
Right.
There are a few players. There's not a crazy amount of players. I believe that, somebody said it was 3,100. I thought it was 3,800 memberships specifically in the ACO sold last year. So you have a pool of that many for, I believe at the end of the year they had about 80 bag companies in the ACO.
Right.
So that's pretty crazy freaking numbers right there.
That is, yeah.
To be able to have any sort of loyalty to a specific company, because it's very competitive on the company side right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Very competitive on the company side. And I think that is more of a factor for what you're talking about, more than TikTok brain, more than, whatever
Yeah.
you're trying to say with this. I would think that having so many companies trying to figure out how to get their brand out there and stuff like that is a way bigger effect, because it's like you could say, oh, the player left for more money. You could say that. But a company had to offer that money.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this company is taking a stab in the dark. This company has no idea if they're going to get value for that stab in the dark. They have no freaking clue on something like that. So it's not all just like, well, players' loyalty, players this, players that. Like, it would be nice, but other people are tempting good deals out there because they want to get their brand out there.
Right.
This is a risk for that company, and they're willing to take the risk, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So that's where I would say most people are switching because of that. And
Yeah. I think that's a good point. Absolutely. Ed asked, curious, does CBC have any pros that have been with you since day one? Well, we only had Bear Paw, Chase, and Megan to start, so no, technically not.
Actually, our first, no, what about DJ?
What about me?
What about DJ?
I was our first one.
DJ's still with us.
DJ Long?
Yeah.
Yeah. The year we signed him. Yeah.
He won the first major. That was the first season that we were in.
So DJ Long would be our most loyal. I hate to say most loyal because it makes everybody seem like they're not as loyal, and I don't mean it that way. He's just the longest standing CBC pro player. Brock Beasley right behind that in the next season. Right?
I would say Brock, is on there.
Yeah.
And then Chase.
So, there are certain players that are really loyal. Zach Rush naming TJ Miller and Steve Smith for the Luckies. Absolutely. He's stuck with them ever since. Got in the game way before we did. Yeah,
TJ Miller and Steve Smith, 100%. Those guys are, they're not leaving Luckies. They love Luckies. Luckies takes care of them, and they throw, and they're great.
Yeah. It's just tough to say with all the bad companies, the choices players have, like you said, and like Tammy's saying, you have to find the right home first, right? And a question I asked somebody today, Bill, is if a company has really brought you up from the start, right? For let's say a couple seasons, you went from not being a pro to an even better pro to, let's say, number one. And let's say the deal has progressed just slowly. It's not the biggest deal you've ever seen. It's not the biggest offer you're getting. But once you become number one, do you have any sort of duty to give back to that team and kind of be like, hey, I'm going to stick with you people. You're not giving me the best deal, but you were really there from the start to my literal tippy top. Do you think there's any sort of duty with that as a cornhole player?
You are giving I guess, in a perfect world, like a utopic idea of what a company would want in a player that they sponsor is what you're giving me right now. And the world is not. It's not a utopia. It's not utopic. It doesn't happen like that. You're telling me you are explaining an old Western film with some guy that has grit and always does the right thing, and his handshake is freaking oath.
I'm just
saying,
what I like. Is there some sort of duty there at all?
Well, I think if people really appreciate that in movies and things like that, sure, everybody's always going to kind of feel that on the inside. But at the end of the day, we don't live in a freaking movie, bro. You know what I mean? And this is something that's an individual's choice. I know what you're talking about, and yeah, when you, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get crazy into it. It's fine.
Let me read Kim's comment.
Kim's comment out.
Kim says it comes down to money. No matter what the people say, traveling for cornhole and trying to stay competitive in a league is insanely expensive. So it all boils down to money. There are very few people that will choose being loyal to a brand over money. Yeah. Most people work full-time to afford doing all this stuff, so they have to make their choices based on what works financially to help make all this happen.
I respect that. I agree. I just hope that the player says that. You know what I mean? When you're talking to somebody, when you're
Yeah.
talking to somebody, and they're like, yeah, yeah. I just hope that the player says that. Hey, this I can't turn it down because this. I
Yeah,
think
'cause
the first person that ever said that to me, or us anyway, the first person that ever said that, they were never on our team before. I don't want to name drop, but the first person that said that is like, what do you want me to do? How could I ever turn this down? Looking at us, we're like, hey, you're right. I can't freaking imagine. Hey, brother, good luck this season.
Yeah, and the conversations we're having too. Anybody that comes to one of our old players and comes to us with, "Hey, I'm getting this deal," and we're like, we know for a fact we can't touch the deal. We can't match it. We can't get anywhere close. Bill and I's first reaction to any of these players, you should take that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
mean,
first
we
reaction.
really,
First
and
one.
that's not us pushing them out the door.
No, it's
that
I
we
can't
know.
match it, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So they're okay. There's two aspects to this that I want to get into when we say something like that. There, one, we try to make everybody on our team friends, family. I mean, that is our our motto is faith, family, four baggers. So
Yeah.
everybody that's on our team, Derek, we'll all go through those and discuss with people. And if anybody needs any sort of issues, we've talked to so many people on our team with issues that they've had, late night conversations, all sorts of stuff to try to help them out with anything that we could possibly do for these players, right? So what I'm going to describe is that there may be a friend idea on what people should do, and then maybe there is also a company idea on that, a business idea, right, on what people should do for their best interest. So when people come up to us and they say, "Hey, I just got this offer," you know, what do you want me to do? There's nothing, and what do you say? Hey, you should take that. There's no possible way that we could match it, right? If we were both on the friend idea, right? If we were both utilizing just our friendship-based decisions, I would expect you to stay with me, and I would expect me as a friend to, I guess I would say, loan you money, you know what I mean, to be able to make your things or do whatever. If we're both on a business deal together, I would say that the business says, "Hey, I can't match that," and then the player says, "Hey, I'm going to go." Right. You know what I mean? And that's kind of a different thing.
Yeah.
And it's where those things get crossed. It's where I have to act like a business and you want to act like a friend. Or I want to act like the friend and you want to act like the business, is where we have these discussions where it comes up on this podcast. And that's where when those things cross and nobody goes for what's they think it's better for them, that's where you really get, feelings hurt and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So.
because and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about and be vulnerable about tonight, is that some of these people, and I don't like to say leaving our company, but moving on, I would say, it legitimately hurts our heart. And I don't want to speak outside of Bill and I. This goes for every bag maker, and every bag maker would agree with us. If anybody has built a personal relationship with your players, we do our best to do it with every single one of them. And some obviously have been around longer, or we feel more passionate about just because maybe we've shared meals with them. Maybe we've literally watched them come up from nothing into something. Like there's something that comes along with that you really care about this person. This person's like, you're not just making bags for this person anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you are sharing experiences with them. So I think what I'm trying to say is that as a player, I think sometimes bag companies get looked at as just bag companies. And sometimes we care a little more than people understand. I really think that, and that it legitimately hurts us to be like, wow, we really can't give this person what they feel they deserve. And I wish I could.
I wish we could, yeah.
I wish I could.
Yeah.
And that's just, I think there's players out there that will take the low end deals. They'll be the Tom Brady's for the team, right? And they'll accept anything just to be on that same team because they hold just a really high level of loyalty to those people. I do think that in this day and age, it's rare to see, and people need to look out for their families, and I completely understand it. I just wanted to let people know from myself and all the other bag companies that it sucks. Okay, it straight up, it sucks.
It's always a rough time of the year. It always is, because you never know. And you can talk to somebody throughout the entire year and be so excited and be like, man, this is awesome. An example, I'm not going to name any names, but we've had somebody on our team. Man, this guy was, we picked him up early. We picked him up early because great bag flight, great person, great attitude, everything, and took a shot. You know what I mean? Took a shot. You know, I guess left us, and it stinks because when you give somebody an opportunity, you know what I mean, and that's where it's a little tough. That's where it hurts on the inside because it's like, dude, I believe in you so freaking much because I know one day you're just gonna be insane.
Yeah, and it's really tough when you see the potential before even the player might see the potential, and then they rise to that potential or they're closing in on it.
Yeah,
and then it seems like they're just gone, and they're not actually gone. Like obviously these people stay our friends, and we would never have ill will against anybody. We hopefully they come to exactly the top that we wanted them to. It just is like, dang man, like we saw this before anybody.
Yeah,
and to be honest. It's a problem with our company specifically because of how much we promote our players, how much we talk about them on this podcast. Folks, we talk about players on this podcast. They get reached out to by bag companies within weeks.
It's crazy.
Within weeks with deals. We lost a bag rep because we started talking about how good that bag rep was. We lost them the next week because a different company swooped them up.
Great.
So as much as it's great for us to have all these conversations and hype our players up, it comes at a detriment to us at times.
Yeah,
you know, that nobody would even know this person's name if they weren't.
You know what? This podcast is terrible for us. We're done. See ya.
Yeah, it's just it seems like that sometimes. You know, but let's move on a little bit, Bill. We had a long comment.
There was some really good comments. Yeah, I like Scotty Ball's
I think a lot of this is the money, right? Building a relationship with players. Everyone has to decide what's important to them. Yeah, social networking is a big part of it from Nate Allen. Also, there's the new factor. So he was kind of talking about what I was talking about, TikTok brain, the new factor, new
get
skills.
Out of here, kid.
And every player has a reason. They're all not the same. It's hard to speculate on one reason for everyone. And I think that's true. We've nailed down like 6 different ones, right?
Yeah.
Todd Gammon asked the question, is it more important to be a bag? That's a whole different thing, Todd. We'll open that up maybe later or another day.
Or some of this I was a lot about. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. That's part of it too. That's definitely part of it too.
Yeah, let's stay in here. Let's read Scotty Ball's comment because this is a good comment. It's well thought out. It's long. It got some likes. So Scotty Ball says, a lot of people saying money. That's true because money is usually the mostly desired thing, not all the time, to prove, hey, you're worth having on the team, business partner, bag rep, successful player, friend, etc. So I'm going to give you X amount of dollars or merch or product, which equals money to prove that you're worth having in our company's corner. Do you want to start there or do you want me to continue?
I want to truncate the comment a little bit and just say that I believe what Scotty is saying in here, and tell me if I'm wrong or not, but he's saying that money shows your worth, and if you see other people in cornhole moving up and having more worth, meaning getting bigger deals than you are, then you're going to start shopping.
Yeah, and that's kind of what he continues
right?
on.
I believe that's what he was saying in there when I read it, and I think it's a great comment. I really do think it's a great comment because pretty much what he's saying is like, hey, a bag company is showing you your worth by the amount of money that bag company is providing, or incentives or whatever they're providing throughout that next year, right?
Right. And so I guess the question to ask there, so if the bag company is showing you worth by giving you money, right? Let's say that, or things, right? Or let's say even treating you well. Let's say all those things are how a bag company can show worth. Right. How do you think a player matches that worth, right? If you get offered $6,000, right, and you get bags and merch throughout the season, what does it mean? As a player, what is your worth to me as a bag company? How do you make yourself worth $6,000 in the ACO today?
In the ACO today, I don't know. How do you make yourself worth $6,000? Is that obviously for a bag maker, you have to sell probably $12,000 worth of bags, and that's how you make yourself. Yeah. That's literally that's what you should have to do if you have that specific value. Now, throwing great, there is value to that. There's definitely value to that. You're on stream. You're wearing the gear. People look up to you because you're a great. There is 100% value to that. But I think I would say from a player's perspective, this helps kind of understand what what a player is going for. And I would say from a bag company's perspective, so let's just take both of these, where you say that the value is shown by the amount of money that they give you. That is the value shown. I would say that bag company is taking a risk in the hopes of future value on that player.
Yeah.
And that's what I would say on that, because how could a bag company ever know your value? You know what I mean? And you could say, well, it's based off of the number on my jersey.
Yeah, you could say that.
I think that's probably the argument against what I'm talking about. But all of the risk, not just a little bit, all of the risk is now on that bag company because you got maybe a higher number than somebody else. And that other person may have sold way more bags. They may have done, there's still something that a bag company, it is insane about the risk. And what I think is a lot of these bag companies, I said this at the beginning of the podcast, I think a lot of them are trying to get their name out there, or they want the team that dominates on stream and dominates, and they hope that that's going to translate into a bunch of sales. And maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. But I believe that they are speculating right now. Let's remember now, in the ACO, people have been sponsored for about 2 years. And if you don't think those companies are out there trying to figure out a way to do these things, and they're like, okay, well, how much are we willing to risk this season for sponsor players and to try this strategy? I think that's what's happening right now. And I would also say 2-3 years down the road, who knows? If you are correct that today that value is on that player and that player is creating that much value, I'd say 2-3 years down the road, you're still going to be getting offers around this much.
Yeah.
If that value is, now, if it is not, I promise you 2-3 years down the road from now, those offers are going to go down, and there may be 1 or 2 bag companies that are just starting or brand new or something like that offer insane numbers. And that's where I'm going to say I can't compete with those numbers because I know what the value is. Right. You know what I mean? And that's where you move from there. Yeah,
a lot of good comments here. I wanted to read Zach's real quick. He said, my opinion, ROO. I want to read this one first. Coming from a pro who left a bag sponsor, this is my point of view.
There was more up too, but
Kim, she disagreed with everything for the most part that we had talked about with a brand and the business side and the player side, doing their best for the brand, that kind of thing. And she agrees. We agree. Kim's been great for our company. I mean, I can say that.
Absolutely.
I think everybody knows who Kim is. I talked to somebody on the phone the other day that was an ACL pro, knew who Kim was. Coming over to the ACL for their first time, like that. Yeah. I mean, there's value in that. You know what I mean? Is it worth $10,000? I don't think so in the ACO yet, right?
And in the ACO,
word,
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
And the word is
someday it may be
because the player base could grow, right? And all these kinds of things. But Zach says the reason he left his bag sponsor was BD Bags. The one he's going with his first ACO bag company I threw. They weren't sponsoring anybody, so he went to get sponsored. The second reason was he wanted to play for a bag company in his home state. Something I will feel will fill me, do the best I can to represent Arkansas.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Zach Dawson, stand-up guy. Love it. Love it. That's awesome. I hope you got at least 15,000.
Yeah, I just... Eric Porter says, has the ACO talked about putting the sponsor logo on their pro jerseys to help the bag company's visibility out while on stream? Yeah, it was offered to us 2 seasons ago, Eric, for $125 per player.
Per player, per jersey, I think.
Right.
I don't even think it's just per player because, sure, if it's major jerseys, pro jerseys, then, as they win them throughout the year, that may be like, okay. But no, I think it's per jersey. Doing something like that and per player.
Yeah, so, and the logo was like a 2x2 or a 3x3 or something like that. Something that you could barely tell. So
something like that is going to give you the I'm walking in a store with my jersey on and somebody sees this and they ask about it and they know what cornhole that's the benefit that I believe that it gives you because if they're on stream it's so small you may not even know, and I don't know the crazy benefit to something like that either.
Yeah, it's just the numbers that are being, and like Bill kind of reached into this, the numbers that are being thrown out right now and the worth of a player, it's a shot in the dark right now.
It is. It's a gamble on the bag company.
At some point, somebody set a number that we believe is very hard to continue to provide to players afforded you have a big team, right? If we had one pro player on our team, we could afford some of these deals. You know what I mean?
Right.
But with what you're trying to do is build a team, build a community, get your name out there as a brand. We've seen success in a bigger team, you know, and I think other companies have as well. You see most companies doing that, right? But what I'm trying to say is that the numbers that are being thrown out, we don't think are sustainable unless the ACO grows. So as players, your goal should be to grow the ACO. And that means that your local blind draws, and when you're going out to places and people ask about, you know, what are you wearing? What is this? Or what do you do for fun? I play cornhole. You should come play. You know, it's the only way the numbers either going to stay the same or move up is increasing the player base. And COs do their job at it. There's multiple people working at doing this, but it's the only way. Playing better is not going to increase how much money comes into cornhole, right? I mean, we're seeing people throw 11s over 50 rounds. It does not mean more people are playing cornhole.
Threes.
If anything, it could deter people from playing cornhole because it's like, well, I'm never going to throw that good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not coming and doing that. So there's just wild numbers being tossed around. We're happy people are getting it right now. We don't think that it's sustainable as it sits right now with this many bad companies, with this many players. That's what we're looking at. We've been around for 3 seasons now. It hasn't changed a lot. Those numbers have not changed a lot. You know, players are getting better. The deals are staying the same. Yeah,
From
people are
the
coming
second
out
to the
of pocket.
third season too. From the second to third season, how many people did we have sponsored? Not season 20, but 19.
8.
8. Season 20, we had 23.
23, yeah.
Did we do better, or you know what I mean? And when you actually sit there and look at the numbers,
Yeah, monetarily, like what we brought in, it's close.
between those seasons, and
Right,
that was
right. That's what I'm
an
saying.
additional, 16 sponsors, pretty much.
Right.
16 sponsors, but 15 sponsor players.
Yeah.
So and it's
hard to
very
calculate because
Very
we don't know how many bags are being pushed out exactly compared to how many we give out to, let's say, sponsored players or anything like that. Maybe we could do a better job tracking that. But what Bill's saying is, like, we sponsor more players, which got our bags out in the environment more, got them out more, right? I mean, that's a fact. Our brand was out there more last season than ever. But what did that also mean? It meant we also gave away way more free stuff, right? Which comes out of the company. You know, I mean, nobody else pays for
earned
it.
stuff. It's not free stuff. It's earned stuff because
Yeah.
the sponsor play.
I'm
You know what I
saying
mean?
free as in the company didn't make money.
Right.
off of it.
The company. Right. The company takes
Yes.
the loss on it.
Right. That's all I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I want to give sponsor players their due because they do earn things. Because they. I mean, they're good. They're freaking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
I don't know. There are a couple other comments on here though. I think there were. Oh no, you went straight to the bottom, huh? Todd, you already read Todd's, correct?
Yeah, but the comments inside of here are probably what you were looking at.
Yeah.
Todd says, my question is, who's more important to a bag company, a sponsored player or a bag rep that sells tons of bags? Well, Todd, you can't set the condition as a bag rep that sells tons of bags or just a sponsored player. That's not fair, right? Because there could be bag reps that maybe don't sell what you'd call a ton of bags. But I think when you phrase it this way, obviously a bag rep that sells a ton of bags, right?
Yeah.
Dale says, every sponsored player should be trying to move bags, in my opinion. If they're not, that just shows how little they care about growing the brand.
Dale, great comment. I would hope that in blind draws and things like that outside of like majors to where they're going to be on stream, that they should be throwing the bags and they should be talking good about the company that they're sponsored by. It would be crazy for me to, let's say we got sponsored by Rockstar Energy Drink because it provided focus for cornhole and we had a podcast to talk about. It would be crazy for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm sponsored by Rockstar. They're freaking expensive and all they care about is money, but it tastes pretty good. You like that? I mean, I feel like some players, but may go that route rather than going the route of just saying, I actually like the drink. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
wonderful. It's great. It could happen.
I missed some comments here. Aaron said, most people leave a bag sponsor. The reason, number one is money. Number two is sponsor doesn't do their part of the agreement. Yeah, if you're a bag maker and you're not fulfilling your part on the sponsorship deal,
That sucks.
it's gonna come around.
I know.
People are gonna find out. People talk. I mean, it's something that we ensure we do. If we told you we were going to do this, it has to be done because there's just there's no way we want the possibility of somebody being like, oh, well, they just didn't pay me, or I had to ask, or I had to threaten my bag sponsor to pay me. It's like, no, we got you. You know what I mean? A reminder could be necessary. I think it's happened like twice where somebody's like, hey, last week I took third in Peoria.
A reminder, and we would tell everybody don't feel bad because I know some people maybe a little skittish, and it's not confrontation. It's not confrontation at all. Make sure if we messed up, I want to know that I messed up, and it'll be
done.
We just doesn't even matter. Yeah, exactly. Not even hey, jinx snap.
Yeah, the person last year, I remember one time specifically, the person was like, hey, I took fourth year, I didn't get whatever it was. And immediately I was on Venmo, cashed on, right? Like, hey,
we make
my
mistakes.
bad.
Every human makes mistakes. Not a big deal. We like to be called out on those mistakes. We like to because I don't want any question about that whatsoever. Kim says, I don't think the number on your jersey is what is most valuable asset you have as well. Kim, I 100% agree. 100%. When I said that the number on your jersey makes you think that that's the value and that gives you the better deal than anybody else, that was a little bit of tongue-in-cheek there. I 100% agree. I believe you could have number one, you could have number negative 100. You could be so much better than number one in the world. If you are a player that's not trying to actively grow your own social media or actively promote yourself to a point where you are appealing to bad companies and things like that, or other sponsors. I don't even just want to say bad companies. It's freaking crazy that's all we talk about is bad companies on here. There are numerous other companies out there, national companies, that if you are worth what these people say they are, they could be. Why don't you have a sponsorship from Chick-fil-A? You know what I mean? Why don't you have a sponsorship from these other people if you are that crazy into it? That's where I guess whole nother conversation for it. But Kim, I agree with you. I said that comment, a little bit of tongue in cheek. You guys, phenomenal. You get out there, you know exactly what it's about. You go grow social media, you throw freaking bags, you look great on stream, and you freaking kill it, Kim.
Yeah, I don't even think there's an argument that the number on your jersey equals your value. I think that if anybody's been around the ACO for a little while, there are some very, very bold examples of this, right? Where some of the literal best players in the world threw certain bags or had a certain sponsor, and maybe the players weren't good promoters or the company wasn't a good promoter, and the company's almost nowhere to be found. If you've been around enough, you know that winning does not equal sales and success for a bad company. And that's the bottom line. Like Bill said, we're taking risks on every single player. And the ins and outs, and the reason folks, that the number on your jersey doesn't correlate is because people aren't getting multi-year deals. You know why they're not getting multi-year deals? Because for most people, this isn't sustainable. To be really good at this over and over and over. We look at people like Drew Waking. He's been at the top for 4 years. Now he's taking a literal break forever. Or who knows how long, right? Yeah. But he's taking a break from the sport. How many people stay in the top 5 every single year and also promote your company and also travel all over the place and also sell bags for you?
Well, in the ACO, the Hertz have stayed in the top 5 for years and years and years.
Right. It's one example.
I know that is one example. But there are other leagues or other things like that, and what you're talking about is very true, especially for doubles and things like that.
Yeah.
But the Hertz, they're the pillars. They're the most consistent. So there are people that do that.
John said Isaac Hurt got a multi-year deal. Yeah, we're still blaming Isaac for all this switch-ups, John. It's his fault because he did a mid-year switch-up. It got everybody thinking, threw everybody into a bamboozle, and now we're here.
He's just talking crap. Here, I'll get him for you, John. Hold on. This first one tonight. No, I was going to hit my hand and not your head, dude. Come on.
But yeah, and John, you saying Isaac got a multi-year deal, he's literally an exception we just spoke about that is at the top all the time and has been for 3 years.
He is.
So
Isaac and Caleb both are.
Yeah, there are certain individuals, but for the most part, players are not staying in your top 5, top 10 spots year in and year out.
Well, a lot of them aren't even staying in cornhole. You know what I mean? They play. They're like comets. They burn super bright, super quick for a little while, and then they're gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Eric said, I can tell you TV, like ESPN or CBS Sports, doesn't sell you thousands of bags overnight either. Yes, it's insanely cool to see and a proud moment. Yeah, and that's something we don't even know anything about. I mean, we would sit here and agree that your player winning on a broadcast does not sell you tons of bags, regardless of what players think.
I don't.
Players think that winning championships on broadcast sells bags. We can promise you that the correlation is so minimal.
If that's what you're basing decision, if you're a bag company and you're basing decisions off of that,
you're gonna learn the hard way because it's
okay.
not it.
It's fine. I mean, I learned the hard way. We did.
We're still learning the hard way.
John Scott says, "Man catching those strays." What does that mean?
I don't know exactly what he's talking about, so I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Not even a rep, but you guys shipped a set of bags, a set of Ronins today on my recommendation. Well, I appreciate it, Earl.
That's what I'm talking about, Earl.
Let us
Thank
know.
you, man.
Anybody that does that for us, I'll send you a freaking $10 bill.
That's awesome. I appreciate
Direct
that.
recommendations.
Yeah, you're the man, dude.
Sebastian owns basement bags now. He got a lifetime deal. I think Zach is trolling. Yeah, Caleb said I've finished top 4 since season 14. I'm starting to feel old. Caleb, you're the man, dude. You've been up there every year.
Caleb, you are an exception, 100%. And that's why I had to call Dylan out on it. He's like,
well, I mean, there's outliers to every rule.
Y'all freaking kill it, man.
There are outliers to every rule. And I knew that was there. Of course, I know the hurts are there every year, singles and doubles, right? But it's really the only people you can point to in the ACO that finished that high more than 3 years in a row. There's nobody else.
No, I know. And that's why I called the hurts out.
That's
why I called them, because they freaking every year they show up. They are the most consistent players in the ACO today.
Yeah.
And I would
maybe in the sport of cornhole.
Yes, maybe in the sport of cornhole. They are
Caleb specifically.
You know what you are getting. You know what I mean? That is and it's awesome. They are that good. It's crazy. Really?
Yeah, it's awesome to see.
Freaking cool.
And they deserve it all. You know, they do. I just I don't know where we see these deals going up from here. I don't know how it's possible. You know.
Well, if the ACO grows like we hope it does, because we have been in the corners of the ACO for 3 years now, sitting here with the business going. And I mean, we played prior to that, but we started the company. We went all out. We started a stream. We wanted a stream for the ACO. We started doing that. We tried to put the best product we possibly could for the ACO so they get more people into it. That's what we're about, growing the sport. I want the ACO to grow. If they grow, these freaking deals stay. And I love it for the players, and I love it for us because we all grow together. And I think that would be great.
We'd love to help everybody out, folks. I just hope you guys know the message isn't that players leaving bad companies are villains. That's not the message, right? It's that we don't know how it's sustainable, long term as a bad company. If all the conditions stay the same.
Gotta grow it.
Yeah, we have to grow it. And that's the whole point, Richard Jones says, give something to the player who sells most bags, incentive to push the bags. Yeah, it's tough because some players legitimately don't want to sell bags. Then what do? Let's say I have a top 5 player, they don't want to sell bags. They're like, I just want to focus on playing. And I want to respect that. It's like, I want you to play your best. I don't want you to have to be focused on selling bags while you're trying to win a major, But I do understand what Richard's saying, where it's like, that might be the only way to help the company out,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how the season goes. It's always a risk. Right? Nobody can tell the future, and it's fun building a good and a big team. It's fun. I absolutely love our team. I'm very excited to announce our team when we can, and it pisses me off that we can't announce it yet. And someday we will let you guys know why we can't announce it just yet. And it's not just for clickbait titles. It's not just to build any sort of suspense whatsoever. It is we literally can't yet, and we're just waiting on it. I think next week we'll probably discuss prospects, and we'll put that out there. And then the week after pros, and then finally the week after we can talk about everything.
Yeah, and also just want to thank everybody who filled out a CBC application this last year. We reached out to every single one of them. I believe I missed one. But I had a phone call with that individual today. Great person. But we really appreciate everybody that filled out an application and showed any interest in even receiving an offer or just trying to be a part of the team. It was really tough for us to decide the team, and I think we'll probably, as John Scott say, catch some strays when the team is announced, right? And you didn't pick me up, but you picked this player up. Folks, this is hours of deliberation for about every single player.
It's this season.
It is been insane.
This season sucks. It sucks. Like it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's fun, but man, you can take some blows and then you give blows in other play. It is what it is. This is what it is, and you just got to be okay with it for about a month, and then you move on and you're good to go. It's what it is.
Yeah,
dude, why do you keep doing
this thing that
You're
put
the
on
one
here?
that clicked on. You're the one that clicked.
Folks, we appreciate it. We're just trying to vibe over here, just tell the whole truth. That's all we do.
Bro, good vibes only.
Good vibes only, the whole truth every time.
Love it.
All right, folks, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Next week, I'm sure we'll have some more greatness to talk about. You guys keep staying fired up, all right? And also, don't go on a 36-hour fast, okay? Don't do it.
Yeah, Dylan's acting wild.
I'm at 25 hours, and I got 9 hours left. But I'm going home, and I'm going to sleep, okay? That's what I'm going to do. John, appreciate you, brother. Zach, thank you. Ed, see ya. Everybody, this is CBC, Faith, Family, Four Baggers.
Delayed out.